I take so much inspiration from Yu Yu. Me too, buddy. Me too. Yu Yu Hakusho was never like the biggest anime. That thing casts a long fucking shadow. I think if you want like a platonic ideal of 90s anime, it's Yu Yu Hakusho. I think Yu Yu Hakusho is at the center point of so much shit. It's like the middle ground between Dragon Ball Z and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I feel like in so many ways, those two shows are like their own evolutionary tree, and you can see all the shit that kind of came off from them. Yu Yu Hakusho is the center point of that. Chat, real quick. Who in chat has never seen Yu Yu Hakusho? I'm curious here. Mo, okay, me. Never seen it. Oh, guys. Yu Yu Hakusho is so fucking good. Like, if you like shonen anime, man, a lot of people have not seen it. So Yu Yu Hakusho is like, in a lot of ways, it's like the progenitor to that kind of like suburban, weird, supernatural. Like, I think there is a huge amount of Jujutsu Kaisen DNA in Yu Yu Hakusho. And to be fair, there's a lot of Bleach DNA in Jujutsu Kaisen as well. If you like the Shibuya incident, Chapter Black to me feels like such a progenitor to that kind of stuff, where like it's this highly supernatural, fucked up kind of fighting with huge horror elements taking place across the city. Now, I'd say like the Shibuya incident, I still think is like just GOAT tier shonen anime ever. But like Yu Yu Hakusho has like its own shit as well that I don't think anyone else has ever equaled. I still think Toguro in Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the best villains in any shonen anime. And I think the reason he's so great is because he's real. Like, the dynamic between him and Yusuke. Okay, if you guys don't know Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho, he's the big, like, super fucked up, muscly looking dude. His whole thing is basically, like, if you want to be good at something, you have to throw everything else away and only dedicate yourself to this thing. That's his entire ethos. That's what he's all about. And so Yusuke looks at that, and Yusuke becomes terrified because he still has all these human connections. He has all these people around him that he loves and wants to protect. And that's why he fights. And like, that's a very shonen reason for fighting, right? But Toguro is like, it's not about protecting anything. It's not about like, the strength does not need a purpose. The strength and the ability is a purpose. And I always remember, like, I got really into Yu Yu Hakusho when I was trying to get into art college when I was a teenager. And I was like very aware that I was not as good at art as a lot of people. And so the solution there was, well, I just have to do art all the time. It's like the only thing I should be doing. It's just art, draw, level up. And as I did, it became like, you know, I started like missing parties. I started like, you know, missing like, you know, people's stag nights and like just working all this shit. And I thought I could still remember like all the shit I didn't do because I just wanted to get better. And I started thinking of Yu Yu Hakusho again. I started thinking of like, man, this is kind of the struggle, isn't it? It's like you want to be good at something. You want to be good enough to make an impact. You want to be good enough to achieve your goal. But you don't want to throw everything else away. And like in that period is when I started dating Michelle as well, you know. And so all of a sudden it became this choice of like spending time with this person that I really fucking cared about, or pouring everything I had into getting good at shit, you know. And I think that in the many ways Michelle has benefited my life. I think one of the things she really showed me is that why it's worth resting, you know, and why it's worth taking time to not do that shit and to not just dedicate all of what you are into like this one skill set or facet. And, you know, she really kind of, in a lot of ways, pulled me back from that way of thinking. But it's also still a struggle, you know. It's a problem that is so real that I still feel it so much today, because like what I do now, you know, I can always be working. I can always do shit. Like, someone who I've been hanging out with recently, a really nice person, invited me to a board game evening tomorrow. And I turned it down because I got to work Sunday. And it's like, it's kind of still happening. And I still think back to that whole exchange between Yusuke and Toguro about, like, what is the worth of being good at something? Like, where do you stop? Where does like dedicating yourself to something start damaging you? You know, and that's still so fucking real to me. Another example of Yu Yu Hakusho. There's a bit in Chapter Black, and this is after the Dark Tournaments. New old big bad defeated, new big bad comes along. Yusuke has this moment where after a fight with one of the big bad's henchmen, he just fucking breaks down and he starts punching the ground, and he starts punching the ground because he's so fucking furious that he still has to fight. And he's like, I beat the last guy. That was meant to be it. That was meant to be where it was going to end. You know, like, I shouldn't have to do this shit anymore. And I still don't know that I ever have seen another shonen protagonist voice that. And I think what makes that moment, like, so kind of real, I think, like, that's kind of what the author was feeling as well. The author, Tagashi of Yu Yu Hakusho, he famously, like, he had a lot of problems and health issues and just burnout, exhaustion, imposter syndrome, all this shit making Yu Yu Hakusho, and you can really see it come out in that scene. It's an incredible moment. Like, it's genuinely brilliant, and I love it so much for that. But here's the thing, right? There's all those moments in Yu Yu Hakusho that resonate, that feel real, but inside of that, you get god tier art direction. You get a god tier soundtrack. You get some of the best character writing, dialogue, and voice acting in all of, like, fucking anime from that period. Maybe with the slight exception of Jin.
Well, didn't you hear me? I'm talking about the way you knocked away Bacon's fog and then took him for a first-class ride on your fist, you know?
I don't super appreciate Jin, but, like, just some of the vocal performances are amazing. And, like, the moments of tragedy in that show, the moment of your fucking stomach crawling up into your chest because you can't believe what's happening, it's so good. It's so good. It's still one of, like, the all-time GOATs. First season's not great. Last season's not great. Everything from the Dark Tournament to the end of Chapter Black is incredible, and I still love it so much. That's not me saying, oh, you gotta push through the first bit. I think if you want to experience Yu Yu Hakusho, read the first 7 volumes and then switch over to the manga or switch over to the anime. That's how I'd recommend it. But yeah, still love that show. That show still influences so much of what I do. There's so much of Eyepatch Wolves in Yu Yu Hakusho, and goddamn, I love it.